Even over a sleepy holiday week, buyer demand in Portland Metro eclipsed last year's numbers. Let's take a look at the very latest real estate stats and trends. Welcome and thanks for joining me today for the latest rundown in Portland Metro-wide real estate stats and trends. If you get to the end of this video and find that you enjoyed the content, I would love a like or maybe even a subscribe, which would make sure that you see more content like this in your feed. Now on with the show. The average sale price for the Portland Metro area has been a bouncing ball over the last few weeks. You can see that here in this chart. If you draw a line through the midpoint though, you can see how we did pretty much for the whole month. By the end of November, we ended up with a 3.3% gain in the average sale price over November of 2023, and that's with a 24% increase in the number of sales. The supply of homes for buyers to choose from, that's the homes that are sitting on the active market, is moving down faster than last year at this time. Currently, we still have about 15% more homes for buyers to choose from compared to last year, but that's still well below the high that we saw earlier this year of around 33% more. Next up is buyer demand. Demand has been holding strong over the past 2 months despite rising interest rates. We've been pretty consistently seeing year-over-year gains north of 15% in the number of new purchase agreements. This week was a little odd because we're looking at the week of Thanksgiving, which is usually a very quiet week for real estate, and we're comparing it to the week after Thanksgiving last year, which is usually a busier week when we see activity rebound. The demand numbers still came out about the same, but if we compare Thanksgiving week of this year to Thanksgiving week of last year, then we had about twice as many new signed purchase agreements. On to mortgage rates have been slowly improving over the last 10 days or so. The best rate I could find for the 30-year fixed on Thursday was about 6.25% in Portland. That's the best case scenario. A couple weeks ago, rates were about a half a point higher than that, 6.75%. One of the interesting things that I saw this week in the statistics was that the number of days that a home spent on the market before receiving an acceptable offer shot up in both the average and the median. Usually that's a sign that a market is cooling. However, that can also happen when supply is shrinking and demand is still strong. You can get to a point in the lowering supply scenario where the homes that have been on the market the longest start to sell, and as they sell, their larger days on market count pulls the overall number up. I'm not 100% sure that that's what's going on, but it sure feels like it from a boots on the ground sort of perspective. So what's coming down the line for us? Well, we usually see a nice bump of activity the week following Thanksgiving. We'll see if that holds true this year, and I suspect it will. I'm definitely doing as many open houses as I can squeeze in this weekend because I think the activity is going to be pretty good. On Wednesday, Fed Chairman Powell had some cautionary words about the speed of rate cuts. And on Friday, we are expecting the November jobs report, which could influence bond and mortgage rates in one direction or another. That one is also an important report because it is one of the last big reports to come out before the Fed's December meeting. If that jobs report comes out before I release this video on Friday, I will post the info right over here. If not, be sure to check in here next week for that, plus the very latest in Portland Metro statistics and trends. I look forward to seeing you then.